1962, my grandpa, Edio Delfino, moved to California. He was looking for a place, and he chose this land that we're sitting on here to start his business. So he cleared it, planted 5 acres of apples. It was all pears. He ripped that out, put apples in. That's 1960, the first thing we have apples. 1964, because his wife, my grandma, was such a good baker, he decided that they were gonna start a bakery. So my grandma took the apples that my grandpa grew and had a bakery.
Think about an apple tree. When you're spraying the stuff, you have 6 shoots running, so you have to have ladders going all the way to the point. It's way more time consuming. The apple tree is constantly a challenge. I always tell people, a bad farmer and a good farmer could be noticed by anybody, novice or expert. Our apples don't collapse. They're premium apples. So because of that, when we run out of apples, it's done.
So this is our famous walk-in pie. It is a little bigger than when they first were made by Nanny several years ago, but she had 7 children. So when they would all come in and want something yummy to eat while she was working, she thought she needed a little something she could give them to taste with them. So she created the walk-in pie. It's a miniature apple pie with our traditional apple pie recipe. It's kind of shrunken down. So the apples are shredded smaller. It's obviously a smaller pie. Several years ago, Nanny and Papa's youngest son, he named it the walk-in pie because he could take it and walk around and eat it. For the most part, everything's exactly the same. We try really hard not to change anything. Nanny knew what she was doing. There's certain recipes that we don't tell anybody. There's certain jobs that we don't let anybody else do, that we just try to keep it as in the family as possible and without changing anything. We have a few different kinds of apple pie. This is our French apple pie, which is equivalent to other people's Dutch apple pie, but Nanny was French, so she liked to call it French apple pie. And it has the crust on the bottom with the pretty edge and then sugar crumb topping on the top. We make every single batch of dough by hand every single time. We don't buy anything pre-done, so everything's done homemade. The owner's grandma started this. She was really big on making everything by hand, so we're still doing that.
I tell people all the time, we had this vision of this place, and everybody thought we were crazy, but we had this vision. Pete, Christine, and my dad too, we all had this vision for this place, and people were like, it's never gonna work. You're never gonna build a winery up there. And it finally came together.
My grandpa came here specifically for the soil and climate. So we think that our grapes stand out over other regions and other wineries' grapes. My brother and my dad take really good care of them. Usually I get them, and I just have to ferment them. It tastes great. I really don't have to do anything.
13 years ago, we planted these grapes, and then it just slowly started to become this thing, this train that never stopped. And you can't make good wine from bad grapes, but you can make bad wine from good grapes, and that is probably the most true statement in the industry.
In 2017, and that's when we came in contact with Sierra View, and we needed somewhere to actually make the wine. So we talked to Mark. Mark came out, and we decided to build a winery that we're standing in right now.
We met with a lot of contractors, honestly, and Mark just really resonated with me because they wanted to make it work. They wanted it to be in our budget, and they made it happen.
What I'm so pleased with is that new location has an awesome view of the vineyard, the orchards, and you look down this canyon of tall fir and pine trees, and it's just an absolute stunning view from the deck.
We all went with Sierra Views because we could tell they were emotionally involved, because for us, we're highly invested and connected to this farm. So it was nice having Mark and the whole Sierra View on board.
So when the grapes come in, we immediately start fermenting them. So fermentation takes about 1 to 2 weeks, and that's when you're actually making the wine. It's turning the sugar into alcohol. So that's when I have to make sure nothing goes wrong, make sure the flavors are all good, make sure it's finishing fermentation. That's the most stressful time is during harvest, let alone more grapes keep coming in every day. I have more lots and tanks I have to take care of. And the second is putting it actually in bottles. So it's the final time I get to touch it. So I have to get everything right before I put it in the bottle.
This farm has been in our family for now almost 60 years. Our grandparents started this. Their 7 kids grew up here and have dreams and memories here. Myself and all of my cousins and my brothers grew up here and have dreams and memories here. And then my daughter have already started making memories here. And that's what we want. We're all about generational farming and generational business, and we are making that dream come alive.
It was kind of inspiring seeing her always talk about this winery and her family farm, and coming back and seeing kind of her vision, and then to see it now is just kind of surreal. Still blown away by it.
How many kids are going to want to go in business, literally a business with their parents? Very few. A lot of them would just want to get away from it. There's some challenges once in a while, but we love it. So we're all in it together. We all do our parts, and that's what makes it work. We all do what we're good at, and we get better at that. We could not do it without the significant other.
Something that sets us apart is we all do truly work well together. Obviously, me being the oldest and then also being the general manager just kind of falls into it. Truly, we all do our part and we don't want to do the other one's job.
It's now going to outlive me. It's going to live on, and my grandkids are going to run it, and their kids are going to run it. And to me, that's all I wanted. I wanted to, when I'm gone, it to live on and it be sustainable and an income for people and a love for them. And it will be. And it's going to stay in the Delfino family. I promise you that.